Welcome to Worth Coin. What if the change hiding in an old drawer right now could secretly be worth more than a luxury mansion, a private jet, and a lifetime of financial freedom combined? Most people never look twice at the coins rattling around in their pockets. But one tiny 5-cent coin from 1963 has become the center of one of the most shocking stories in American coin collecting history. Collectors have spent years hunting for this mysterious nickel, and rumors about its true value continue to spread across auctions, estate sales, and coin conventions across the country. Some experts believe only a handful truly exist, while others think a forgotten example may still be sitting unnoticed inside ordinary change jars. And before this story ends, you'll discover why one version of the 1963 5-cent coin has been connected to an unbelievable $63 million valuation that stunned even veteran collectors. But stay with me until the end, because the next coins in this series become even stranger, with mysterious minting secrets that collectors desperately search for today. The 1963 P. Jefferson nickel may look completely ordinary at first glance, but this coin carries one of the most fascinating backgrounds in modern American numismatic history. During the early 1960s, the United States Mint was under enormous pressure to produce coins quickly because the country was facing a growing coin shortage. Vending machines, public transportation systems, laundromats, and everyday businesses relied heavily on nickels, and the mint worked around the clock trying to keep up with demand. Millions upon millions of Jefferson nickels were struck in Philadelphia during 1963, flooding circulation across America. Because these coins were so common, almost nobody bothered saving them carefully. People tossed them into cash registers, glove compartments, piggy banks, and couch cushions without a second thought. But hidden within this massive production run, collectors believe a microscopic group of extraordinary error coins escaped the mint unnoticed. And those rare survivors would later become legendary. One of the biggest mysteries surrounding the 1963 P nickel involves what collectors now call the Phantom Strike error. According to stories passed through coin collecting circles for decades, a small batch of nickels was accidentally struck using experimental dies that were never meant for public circulation. These dies reportedly carried unusual surface textures and incredibly sharp design details that made the coin appear almost proof-like despite being released into everyday commerce. Some coins also displayed strange doubling on Jefferson's profile and dramatic distortions around the lettering. At first, nobody noticed these differences because the coins blended into circulation so easily. But years later, sharp-eyed collectors began comparing examples and realized something extraordinary had happened at the Philadelphia Mint. Then came the discovery that changed everything. In the late 1990s, a retired factory worker in Pennsylvania reportedly brought a jar of old nickels to a local coin dealer after inheriting them from his father. Among the worn coins sat a nearly flawless 1963 P nickel unlike anything the dealer had ever seen. The strike was razor sharp, the surfaces glowed under light, and unusual die characteristics appeared across both sides of the coin. Experts were called in immediately. Under magnification, they noticed rare doubling near the words, "In God We Trust," along with strange die polish lines never documented before. Rumors spread rapidly through collector communities, and suddenly the ordinary 1963 nickel became the focus of intense speculation. As more specialists examined the coin, theories exploded everywhere. Some believed it was connected to secret mint testing procedures. Others claimed it might have been accidentally struck on an experimental metal planchet intended for another denomination. A few even suggested the coin was part of an undocumented prototype series hidden from the public for decades. Regardless of the explanation, wealthy collectors became obsessed. Private offers reportedly climbed into the millions, and stories emerged claiming one elite buyer valued the coin as high as $63 million due to its uniqueness and historical mystery. Whether that exact number was ever officially confirmed remains debated, but the legend itself transformed the coin into a modern treasure hunt. And that's exactly why people today still search through old nickel rolls hoping lightning might strike twice. What makes the story even more fascinating is that rare 1,963 nickels have allegedly appeared in the most unexpected places. One collector claimed he found an unusual example inside a gas station cash register while paying for coffee during a road trip. Another reportedly discovered a suspiciously sharp 1963 nickel hidden inside a bankroll purchased for less than $2. Imagine that feeling for a moment. You're casually checking spare change at your kitchen table, expecting nothing special, and suddenly you notice odd doubling, reflective surfaces, and details unlike any normal coin you've ever seen. That possibility is what keeps collectors addicted to coin hunting. The idea that life-changing wealth could still be sitting unnoticed in ordinary circulation creates a level of excitement few hobbies can match. And remember, before this video is over, I'll tease another coin that collectors believe carries an even more unbelievable secret than this one. But the 1963p nickel story becomes even deeper when you examine how condition dramatically changes value. Most nickels from 1963 entered circulation immediately and became worn over decades of use. Scratches, fading, discoloration, and damaged edges are extremely common. However, finding one with pristine surfaces, strong steps on Monticello, and original mint luster is incredibly difficult. In coin collecting, tiny differences can separate a 5-cent coin from a $5,000 collectible. That's why grading companies carefully inspect every microscopic detail. Coins with what collectors call full steps on the Monticello building command enormous premiums because the steps often wore down quickly during production. Add a rare, minting error into the mix, and values can skyrocket beyond imagination. Auction houses have repeatedly seen intense bidding wars over high-grade Jefferson nickels because advanced collectors compete fiercely for the best surviving examples. The psychology behind these auctions is fascinating. Wealthy buyers are not simply purchasing metal. They're buying rarity, mystery, and a story connected to American history. The 1963 nickel represents a moment when the U.S. Mint was pushing production limits under national pressure, and hidden mistakes slipped into circulation unnoticed. Every collector dreams of uncovering that one overlooked coin everyone else missed. And the possibility that another legendary 1963-era nickel could still exist somewhere keeps the legend alive. Some believe undiscovered examples may remain inside inherited collections tucked away in attics for decades. Others think they may still circulate occasionally through ordinary pocket change because people simply don't know what to look for. That uncertainty fuels the obsession. Another reason the 1963p nickel captures so much attention is because counterfeits and altered coins have flooded the market over the years. Once stories about million-dollar nickels began spreading online, dishonest sellers started modifying ordinary coins to imitate rare errors. Fake doubling, artificial polishing, and altered surfaces became increasingly common. That's why experienced collectors always recommend authentication through respected grading services before believing extraordinary claims. Still, every time a genuine-looking example appears, excitement erupts across the numismatic world. Forums light up with debates, YouTube channels explode with speculation, and collectors rush to examine photos searching for clues. The mystery itself has become part of the coin's value. Even people who know little about coins become fascinated when they hear an ordinary nickel might be worth millions. And honestly, who wouldn't be intrigued by that possibility? Imagine discovering that something most people ignore every day could completely transform your future. Stories like these turn pocket change into buried treasure. But perhaps the most emotional part of the 1963 nickel story comes from the ordinary people connected to its discoveries. Many rare coin finds happen accidentally during difficult moments in life. Families sorting through inherited belongings, retirees cashing old savings jars, or workers checking change after long shifts suddenly stumble into something extraordinary. Those moments feel almost cinematic because they remind people that hidden opportunities can appear when least expected. One old nickel sitting forgotten in a drawer could become the centerpiece of a national auction. That emotional possibility keeps viewers, collectors, and treasure hunters endlessly captivated. And if you think this coin story is unbelievable, wait until you hear about the next nickel in this series. Because collectors claim another modern 5-cent coin hides a minting mystery so shocking that people searched for it across America after rumors began spreading online. Most people would spend it instantly without ever realizing what they had. Next, 2002p 5-cent coin. Have you ever checked the loose change sitting in your car cup holder and wondered if one forgotten coin could secretly be worth a fortune beyond imagination? Most people see modern nickels as completely ordinary, especially coins from the early 2000s, because they still feel recent and common. But hidden inside the massive production of the 2002p Jefferson nickel lies one of the most talked about modern coin mysteries ever discussed among collectors. Stories about strange minting errors, experimental surfaces, and impossible auction estimates turned this simple 5-cent coin into a legendary treasure hunt across the United States. And according to rumors that spread through the numismatic world, one extraordinary example has been connected to an astonishing $80 million collector valuation. Yet the truly shocking part is that some experts believe undiscovered examples may still be hiding in everyday circulation right now. Before we uncover the secrets behind this mysterious coin, stay with me because the final coin in this series carries an international twist that makes the story even more unbelievable. By 2002, the United States Mint had entered a completely different era compared to the coin shortages of the 1960s. Technology had improved, minting equipment had become more advanced, and production processes were faster than ever before. The Philadelphia Mint produced millions of Jefferson nickels that year, and nearly all of them looked exactly the same to ordinary Americans. People used them for vending machines, parking meters, fast food purchases, and spare change without ever imagining that one variation could someday become one of the most discussed modern rarities in coin collecting circles. Because the coin appeared so common, almost nobody bothered setting them aside in mint condition. That's exactly why high-grade examples became surprisingly difficult to locate years later. But condition alone is not what transformed the 2002p nickel into a legend. The real mystery began when collectors started noticing unusual characteristics on a tiny number of coins pulled from circulation. Some displayed surfaces with an almost mirror-like shine never expected on ordinary business strike nickels. Others showed dramatic die cracks stretching across Jefferson's portrait, while a few revealed bizarre doubling effects around the date and lettering. At first, collectors assumed these were simple machine doubling errors with little significance. But as more examples appeared, experienced numismatists realized something stranger might have happened during production. Then came the discovery that ignited nationwide curiosity. A Midwest coin hunter reportedly purchased several unopened bank rolls of 2002 nickels during a routine search for collectible coins. Most rolls contained normal circulation strikes, but one roll revealed several nickels with unusually sharp details and strange metallic coloration. Under bright lighting, the coins appeared different from ordinary Jefferson nickels produced that year. The collector sent one example for professional grading, expecting perhaps a minor error designation. Instead, specialists became fascinated by what they saw under magnification. The strike quality was unusually precise. Microscopic die markers did not match standard references, and the surfaces reflected light in ways rarely seen on circulation nickels. Rumors exploded almost immediately. Some collectors believed the coin had been struck using experimental dies during secret production tests. Others suggested the nickel may have been accidentally produced on an improperly prepared planchet, creating its unusual appearance. A few even speculated that certain 2002 nickels were connected to undocumented mint calibration experiments that somehow entered circulation unnoticed. Whether these theories were true hardly mattered once collectors began competing for the rarest examples. Auction prices climbed rapidly for top-condition specimens with dramatic errors, and online discussions turned the 2002p nickel into a modern collecting phenomenon. Then came the headline that stunned the hobby. Reports surfaced claiming an elite private collector valued one extraordinary specimen at nearly $80 million due to its unique combination of condition, minting anomalies, and mysterious origin. Whether that exact valuation reflected a formal sale or private estimate became the subject of endless debate, but the number alone transformed the coin into a cultural legend among treasure hunters. Suddenly, people everywhere started checking jars, drawers, and old piggy banks searching for 2002 nickels. And honestly, can you blame them? The thought that an ordinary-looking 5-cent coin could secretly carry unimaginable value is almost impossible to ignore. What makes the 2002p nickel especially fascinating is that it belongs to the modern era, meaning many examples still exist in circulation today. Unlike ancient coins locked away in museums or historic rarities hidden in elite collections, these nickels continue passing quietly through everyday hands. Someone could receive one as change from a grocery store and never realize its potential importance. That possibility creates intense excitement among collectors because the treasure hunt feels real and immediate. Every bankroll becomes an opportunity. Every handful of change becomes a possible discovery. And somewhere out there, another extraordinary example could still be waiting unnoticed. Remember, the final coin coming after this carries a mystery tied to another country entirely, and its story becomes even harder to believe. But before we reach that shocking finale, there's another layer to the 2002 nickel story that keeps collectors obsessed. Many experts believe the rarest examples may feature what's known as transitional strike characteristics. During certain periods, mint equipment adjustments and die replacements can accidentally create coins with subtle differences not intended for public release. On the 2002p nickel, some collectors reported finding coins with unusually thick lettering, sharper Monticello details, or strange reflective textures across Jefferson's face. These differences may sound minor to casual viewers, but in the world of numismatics, microscopic details can separate an ordinary coin from a life-changing rarity. Professional graders often spend hours studying tiny imperfections invisible to the naked eye because those details tell the story of how a coin was produced. And sometimes, those stories become legendary. Auction history surrounding the 2002p nickel only deepened the mystery. Over the years, several high-grade examples with dramatic errors attracted enormous attention during sales. Collectors competed aggressively for coins featuring full steps on Monticello, double dies, off-center strikes, and unusual metallic appearances. Each auction fueled new speculation. Were these simply rare production accidents, or evidence of something larger hidden within the minting process? No definitive answer ever fully satisfied the collecting community. Instead, uncertainty became part of the coin's appeal. The less people understood, the more obsessed they became. That's one reason modern coin legends spread so rapidly online today. Social media videos, coin forums, and collector communities amplify every rumor, discovery, and auction result until ordinary people begin searching their own change. And every once in a while, someone truly does find something extraordinary. One of the most emotional stories connected to the 2002 nickel involved a family cleaning out their late grandfather's garage. Inside an old toolbox sat several rolls of nickels he had saved years earlier simply because he liked collecting shiny coins from circulation. Most were ordinary, but one roll reportedly contained unusually sharp 2002 nickels with strong strikes and brilliant surfaces. The family nearly spent them at face value before a local dealer noticed their unusual appearance. Moments like that keep the dream alive for collectors everywhere. Hidden treasures do not always appear inside pirate chests or buried vaults. Sometimes they sit quietly inside forgotten containers for decades waiting for the right eyes to notice them. That emotional connection transforms coin collecting into more than a hobby. It becomes a search for overlooked history and unexpected opportunity. Another fascinating aspect of the 2002 nickel craze is how quickly fear of missing out spreads once large values enter the conversation. When people hear stories about million-dollar coins, they suddenly begin paying attention to details they ignored their entire lives. Nickels become objects of suspense instead of simple currency. People search couch cushions more carefully. They inspect coin jars under bright lamps. Some even purchase entire boxes of nickels from banks, hoping to uncover a hidden rarity. Most never find anything extraordinary, but the possibility itself creates excitement powerful enough to keep the hunt alive. And occasionally, remarkable discoveries really do happen. That's why stories like this continue captivating audiences worldwide. Because deep down, everyone wonders whether fortune might already be hiding in plain sight. But now we arrive at the edge of the final chapter in this incredible coin journey. If you thought the mysteries surrounding the 1963 nickel and the 2002 nickel were unbelievable, the next coin takes things to another level entirely. Its story crosses international borders, carries whispers of impossible rarity, and has become one of the most shocking modern coin legends collectors have ever discussed. And when you hear how this final coin became connected to an astonishing $70 million story, you may never look at ordinary pocket change the same way again.